Hello, my name is John Burke, and thank you for joining me for this special event. You know, if you were to ask 100 Americans, can you name any cryptocurrencies, 99 of them will answer just one thing: Bitcoin. It makes sense, after all. Bitcoin is an international phenomenon.
Let's talk rocket ships. First, Bitcoin.
It's helped make them millionaires.
Bitcoin is better than currency.
You buy Bitcoin?
I bought them all.
Musk's bet on Bitcoin.
I own Bitcoin. I've owned Bitcoin for some time.
Investing in Bitcoin. Had people done that, they would have found exponential gains.
Bitcoin could become a global market.
Wall Street has taken notice, and professional traders and investors are jumping in,
attracting tens of millions of investors, from everyday folks to ultra-wealthy mavericks, Fortune 500 CEOs, and even Hollywood celebrities. Recently, a massive Bitcoin boom made global headlines as it soared to record high after record high.
Bitcoin has broken $30,000.
Investors are filing into Bitcoin today. Bitcoin topping $46,000.
Bitcoin just hit an all-time high, $62,000.
Bitcoin's incredible, world-breaking $63,000 today.
Bitcoin has surpassed the $64,000 mark.
Bitcoin remains in rocket mode, trading above 68,000.
And today, analysts from major institutions are saying the future of Bitcoin is unstoppable.
It's probably going to 100, then 150, then 200,000.
Citibank analyst says Bitcoin could pass 300K.
Analysts are saying Bitcoin will soar all the way to $500,000 per coin over the next few years. Are they right? Are we looking straight into the barrel of the greatest investment opportunity in history? You're about to hear from one of the world's top crypto traders who says there's something bigger in store, much bigger than even Bitcoin. There's a hidden boom happening in another corner of the crypto market that's making Bitcoin's gains look tiny by comparison. It's a new class of cryptocurrency, one that's disrupting the way the entire world conducts business. The World Economic Forum calls it revolutionary technology that will change the world. Forbes said this new class of cryptocurrencies will transform business forever. And Nobel Prize-winning Harvard economist Dr. Eric Maskin says it's the most exciting development in financial markets in years. This year, this hidden crypto market is beating the red-hot commodities market by 24-1, the all-time high stock market by 42-1. It's even beating the soaring gold market by 814-1, and yes, this hidden crypto market is even smashing gains made by Bitcoin by as much as 75-1, 211-1, even 5,567-1, and now it's set to go even higher. Because as you're about to discover, many of the world's richest corporations are all gearing up to plow billions of dollars into this new class of cryptocurrency. Which is why I'm so excited one of America's leading experts is joining me now to pull back the curtain on these game-changing cryptos. His name is Tom Gentile. Now, he became an early adopter in the cryptocurrency market years before analysts at Bloomberg and JP Morgan even knew it existed. This man was a trailblazer, mining Bitcoin on his own in 2013 when it was trading for just over $100 a coin. Today, he's one of America's leading crypto authorities, someone who has personally become a millionaire in this market from trading these once little-known coins. Tom, good to see you. Welcome.
Hey, John, glad to be here, and it's great to be able to show folks this new development in cryptos. It's very exciting. Most investors look at cryptocurrency and all they see is Bitcoin. But what I'm going to show you today will be a huge eye-opener, because it's a whole new kind of crypto, one that's changing the world right before our eyes. With these new cryptos, a small starting stake is all you need because they're so much cheaper than Bitcoin. And they're actually being put to use by dozens of industries around the world. So their accelerated adoption by big business is translating into gains 75 times, 211 times, even more than 5,000 times bigger than Bitcoin.
Now, Tom, as you showed me earlier, this really isn't a one-time phenomenon, right? I mean, this new class of cryptos has been outperforming Bitcoin for the last several years, but most of our viewers probably aren't even aware that this is going on. I find that fascinating. So go ahead, pull back the curtain. What exactly are these cryptocurrencies, Tom?
Well, John, first, I call them microcurrencies. They're tiny digital currencies created specifically for industries around the world. So I'm talking real estate, technology, energy, biotech, healthcare, financial services, you name it. These little coins let businesses complete financial transactions 1,000 times faster than the outdated technology used today. and cheaper. I'm talking about businesses saving massive amounts of money, over $600 billion a year. That's why these companies are scooping them up like crazy. Now, John, as the name implies, microcurrencies are much, much smaller than Bitcoin. They're kind of the penny stocks of the cryptocurrency market. And you're right, they didn't just come out of the woodworks. I've been tracking and trading these tiny but lucrative coins for the last several years. In fact, let me show you something that'll blow your mind. What you're looking at is a chart of the legendary 2017 bull market in crypto, a massive run that saw the entire market skyrocket over 3,000% in a single year. Now, what crypto do you think was the biggest winner that year?
Well, I think most people would say Bitcoin.
That's right, they would. But take a look at this. These tiny microcurrencies absolutely destroyed Bitcoin in 2017. In fact, one microcurrency in the financial industry, called XRP, went up over 2,600% more than Bitcoin. So listen to this, John. Every $1,000 invested in Bitcoin in 2017, well, that would have returned over $14,000. That's not bad at all.
Not bad.
However, that same $1,000 in XRP would have returned over $361,000.
Wow.
That's over $347,000 more cash.
That's an amazing difference. If you're choosing between $14,000 in one hand and the $347,000 in the other, I don't know about you, but I'm taking the $347,000 every time.
Amazing, isn't it? The same thing happened in 2018. So take a look at Odom, an education microcurrency. Imagine taking online classes from MIT, Harvard, and Oxford at the same time. That's what this disruptive microcurrency allows folks to do. Now, in 2018, Bitcoin actually went down 45%, but not Odom. From the time it launched in April of 2018 to the end of that year, it soared 233%. Same thing with Smartlands, a real estate microcurrency. Now, this one allows investors to buy fractional ownership of valuable properties. It became so popular that it soared 1,500% in 2018.
Okay, Tom, so contrary to the common wisdom out there, even when Bitcoin is going into negative territory, there's still a ton of money to be made on these microcurrencies, right?
Exactly, and it was the same story in 2019. Here's a microcurrency called Centrality. Entrepreneurs use it to get small businesses off the ground. Now, after it partnered with Amazon, it went through the roof, shooting up 350% for the year. That's 3 times more than Bitcoin's return. Chainlink, a banking microcurrency, did even better, going up 483% in 2019, nearly 5 times Bitcoin's gains. And look at this one, Constellation, symbol DAG. Small businesses use this microcurrency to help them scale. In fact, DAG also partnered with Amazon, as well as Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit. And in 2019, it soared by 900%, which was almost 10 times the return of Bitcoin. So for every $1,000 made in Bitcoin, DAG would have returned an astounding $10,200 instead.
What about 2020? Bitcoin's profits exploded that year.
Yes, all told, Bitcoin went up by 289% in 2020. That was a heck of a gain. But even then, so many unknown microcurrencies obliterated Bitcoin. Look at Kusama, another small business industry microcurrency. It soared over 5,800% in 2020. So while every $1,000 invested in Bitcoin would have returned $2,800 in profits, the same $1,000 invested in Kusama would have returned over $58,000 in profits. That's $56,000 more cash. And here's the best part of all. Up until now, a lot of fast movement in crypto pricing was pure speculation. But now industries are actually using these microcurrencies to do business. So it's setting up this year to be the most lucrative year ever in the history of crypto. Look at the gains we're already seeing. Here's AudioCoin, a music industry microcurrency. It went up 895% during the first 6 months. That's nearly 23 times the return of Bitcoin during the same time frame. Now look at Chiliz, a sports and entertainment microcurrency. It soared 1,061%, 36 times the return of Bitcoin. Deep Brain Chain, a big data microcurrency, went up over 2,300% in only 6 months. That's 79 times Bitcoin's return during the same time frame. Metablock from the healthcare industry went up an incredible 1,356%. That's 46 times Bitcoin's returns. Here's Cargo X, used in the logistics industry. It was on nobody's radar. Yet in only 6 months, it soared over 2,100%. That's 74 times Bitcoin's returns. Now look at this one. It's one of my favorites. Curate. It's used in the e-commerce industry. Curate hit a massive windfall for the first 6 months of this year, up over 6,000% so far. John, that's 211 times Bitcoin's return during the same time period. So get this, for every $1,000 made with Bitcoin, Curate would have returned $211,000 instead.
And those are some pretty mind-blowing gains, Tom.
Now, John, it goes without saying these are some of the best performing microcurrencies. Obviously, not every microcurrency went as high. Some went up a little, some stayed flat, and yeah, some went down quite a bit. But there's no denying how powerful the best microcurrencies can be. Look at Cocos. This is a microcurrency in the gaming industry. In the first 5 months this year, it soared more than 161,000%. So a mere $100 investment in this coin would have returned $550,000 more than Bitcoin.
Wow.
A $1,000 investment, now we're talking about gains over $5 million.
It is stunning. And you know, you hear so much about Bitcoin, but nobody really realizes there's a whole class of cryptos beating Bitcoin by so much year after year. I think for people hearing this for the first time, Tom, it's got to be a little bit shocking.
Yeah, and I get that. But here's what folks need to understand. Right now, as great as Bitcoin is, most people who buy Bitcoin, well, they consider it a store of value, not something they buy things with every day. Heck, even Susie Orman loves it as a replacement for gold. Microcurrencies, on the other hand, were created for global industries, and they're using them to transfer money faster and cheaper every single day, which is why they've become so revolutionary for business.
Okay, so what you're saying is the reason these microcurrencies are outperforming Bitcoin, it's very simple. They're being adopted by industries on a massive scale.
Exactly. Take real estate, for example. There's a microcurrency called Proppy. Now, it's used by Coldwell Banker, Century 21, First American Title, and other big real estate firms. It shot up 635% in just 6 months this year. That's 19 times what Bitcoin did during the same time frame. Now, here's another one, Squirrel Finance. This is an insurance microcurrency. Now, I admit a lot of these coins have funny names and funny ticker symbols. This one is nuts. I mean, the ticker symbol, John, is NUTS. But I promise it's for real. And it's having a huge year, beating Bitcoin by 513% over the same time frame. And look at Terra. This is a microcurrency that helps e-commerce businesses in 10 different countries. Countries with a total gross merchandise value of $25 billion. Now, Terra's market cap jumped from $300 million to $6 billion in just 5 months. It went on a tear during that same time frame, up 896% this year. That's 30 times Bitcoin's gains. So the money difference investors can make is huge. For every $1,000 made in Bitcoin, Terra would have returned over $30,000 instead.
And you know, Tom, most people don't even know that microcurrencies like Proppy, Squirrel Finance, and Terra even exist. Well, you know what? I think we need to change that right now. Because, folks, Tom's going to show you exactly what these powerful new cryptos are, how they work, why they are disrupting business as we know it, and most importantly, how investors can pick off gains of 75 times, 211 times, even more than 5,000 times greater than Bitcoin in less than 6 months. Tom, I know that you're the perfect person to show folks how to invest in these markets because you've become a millionaire yourself from these markets. But before we dive into your method, let's give our viewers the full range of your expertise here because you're also known as America's #1 pattern trader. In fact, over the past 3 decades, you've uncovered dozens of hidden price patterns in top moving stocks. You're also the co-founder of one of the most trusted financial education companies in the world, a company you sold to a Wall Street firm for $20 million. You've been an investor in the crypto market for years, almost since the beginning. And I'm talking about years before billionaires like Elon Musk, Mike Novogratz, and Mark Cuban got in. You beat them all to the punch, and it's paid off because today you're one of the world's leading cryptocurrency experts, a crypto millionaire, someone who's been successfully trading microcurrencies for years. So let me ask you this. I'm very curious. What clued you into them becoming so valuable? What was it?
Well, John, you know the expression time is money? That's what makes these new microcurrencies such a game changer because they can give banks, credit card companies, and big corporations the ability to transfer billions of dollars instantly. And from my estimates, That could save these companies over $600 billion every year by simply cutting out the middleman, which means they can skip right over dealing with intermediaries like brokers and distributors. Nearly all of America's biggest financial institutions are plowing into them, even Goldman Sachs. And so are the biggest corporations on the planet, including energy, finance, education, travel, and on it goes. In fact, I actually did a count. 63 industries now have at least one microcurrency. Most have several.
Okay, so what you're saying is these microcurrencies, that they're virtually eliminating costs associated with the middleman and changing the way business is done around the world.
Big game changer. And everyday investors can capitalize on this success. Take the marketing industry. This has 19 microcurrencies, like this one called ad shares. In just 6 months this year, ADST soared by 599%. That means it had 20 times the return of Bitcoin during the same time frame. So for every $1,000 made on Bitcoin, ADST would have returned over $20,000 instead.
Well, let me ask you this. How about the education industry? Because I know a lot of schools are starving for money right now, so cutting costs, well, that would be a big deal for them.
Absolutely. Education has 9 microcurrencies like Educare, the symbol's EKT. It supplies educational equipment and training materials. It also surged 317% in just 6 months this year, 10 times the return of Bitcoin. So that means for every 1,000 made in Bitcoin, you guessed it, EKT would have returned over $10,000 instead.
All right, Tom, how about energy? I mean, that's an enormous industry with huge middleman costs.
Yeah, so John, the energy sector has 15 microcurrencies, like MWatt. MWatt allows companies to receive and send energy worldwide directly. It's all tokenized through their microcurrency. MWatt has created such a huge paradigm shift in energy, and that's why it's already soared 900% in just the first 6 months this year. That's 31 times Bitcoin's return.
All right, let's talk about real estate, Tom. You know, everything is booming like crazy right now, and I know anyone who's ever bought a house would love to cut out that middleman.
Absolutely. There are 11 real estate microcurrencies, like this one, EcoReal. This year, it soared 7 times the return of Bitcoin. Fact is, these microcurrencies are in every industry you can think of. Here's one in the travel industry called LockTrip. It gives discounts on airfare, hotels, and rental cars. In just 6 months, LOC soared by 837%, 28 times the return of Bitcoin.
That is amazing. And once again, look at the money difference. For every $1,000 made in Bitcoin, LOC would have returned over $28,000.
I mean, yeah, the $1,000 gain from Bitcoin sounds good, but I'll take the $28,000 anytime. It's a huge disparity.
It sure is.
Listen, all these microcurrencies are killing it right now because they have real-world use. This isn't mere speculation. They let industries make big transactions without the middleman, saving over $600 billion every year. And John, let me be clear. I've been showing you the top performer in each industry. I want you to see the sheer profit potential inside this microcurrency market. These are not the average returns that happen every day. But if you find the best microcurrencies to play, the returns can be mind-blowing.
And Tom, you're going to share your method for deciding which microcurrencies to play in just a moment. I know that we're all looking forward to that. So, folks, stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this. But first, I want you to just look at these incredible figures. This is how much microcurrencies save businesses by cutting out the middleman. It's on the screen right now. Microcurrencies can help banks save $20 billion a year. The food industry, $31 billion a year. Real estate, as much as $87 billion every year. Healthcare, up to $150 billion a year. And drug manufacturers, up to $320 billion every single solitary year. You know, Tom, you look at those huge numbers, and when you see just how much money these industries can save, you can easily grasp why microcurrencies are so revolutionary.
Yeah, John, and here's what makes it so exciting for everyday people like us. You don't have to be on the inside of any of these industries to get rich from these microcurrencies. Anyone can get into this game. It's so simple. All of these microcurrencies can be bought and sold the exact same way. It's just 3 easy steps. You go to a crypto exchange and you buy microcurrencies with US dollars. You wait for the microcurrency to make a move, and then finally you sell it back at the exchange and it automatically turns back into US dollars. That's it. You don't need any special accreditations, clearances, margins. You don't even need any experience.
Another thing that I like about microcurrencies is how inexpensive they are, especially compared to Bitcoin. I mean, we're talking a few dollars or even a few cents compared to over tens of thousands of dollars for a single Bitcoin.
Right, and microcurrencies, well, they're the total opposite. Pennies on the dollar in most cases. Look at some of the biggest gainers we've seen this year. Here's Get. It's basically the ticket master of microcurrencies. It's only trading for $3. Yet it's had an incredible year, soaring 785% in just 6 months. Here's D-Market, the eBay of the gaming industry. Millions of gamers use it to trade virtual items online. Guess how much it cost? 73 cents. Yet it soared 259% in just 6 months this year. That's 8 times Bitcoin's gains. Or how about Veracity, a popular esports microcurrency? Now, esports is an industry that's growing like crazy, and microcurrencies, well, they're helping it reach a huge audience. Today, Veracity is only trading for 1 cent, but it's given investors one of the biggest paydays of the year, up 2,839% since January. That's an incredible 100 times the return of Bitcoin. And these examples are just the tip of the iceberg. There are literally dozens of microcurrencies that are moving the needle right now. Anyone can play them for a profit. It's all about getting your timing right.
And Tom, in a moment, you're going to show folks how to get their timing down to a science. In fact, you've discovered a special pricing pattern that clues you into the best microcurrencies, the ones that are about to shoot up. And you're saying there's a huge catalyst coming that could send these microcurrencies, the whole crypto market, actually, a whole lot higher than it is right now. So, folks that are watching at home, before Tom leaves today, we're going to make sure you are prepared for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In fact, Tom's going to reveal 2 powerful recommendations to microcurrencies you can play right now for potentially the largest profits of your life. But Tom, before we get there, I do want to unravel these microcurrencies just a little bit further. Now, break down for us how they work. I mean, what's the mechanism that makes these microcurrencies so revolutionary?
Well, John, it all comes down to 2 words: smart contracts. Smart contracts make these microcurrencies click. It's what makes them so valuable.
All right, dig in a little bit deeper there. I know that's what a regular contract is, but a smart contract, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, in basic terms, a smart contract is a crypto version of a simple purchase agreement between a buyer and a seller. Yet it's much more modern.
Well, what's the difference between a smart contract from a crypto versus having a lawyer draw one up on paper?
Yeah, great question. You ever heard of the saying, a contract isn't worth the paper it's printed on?
Of course.
Well, a written contract is great until you got to enforce it. Then all kinds of problems come up. If one party doesn't live up to the obligations, the contract's worthless. But with a digital smart contract, the contract and enforcement are all built into the token.
And Tom, I'm guessing that without blockchain technology, microcurrencies would never exist in so many industries. Am I right about that?
Exactly right, John. And here's what's really exciting. The new upgrade is kicking in for the world's leading smart contract platform right now. And the improvements in speed are absolutely amazing. Before, it could only handle about 15 transactions per second. Soon, it's going to cover all the way up to 100,000 transactions per second. It's instant scale. Suddenly, this smart contract platform is going to go from a few companies using it to hundreds, even thousands being able to use it.
Now, I've seen and read a ton, and I mean never-ending media attention in the crypto world about this upgrade. It's going to take smart contracts to a whole new level. And that's why a huge influx of money is about to pour into microcurrencies from so many Fortune 500 companies. They're all banking on it, right, Tom?
Yeah, these companies see the writing on the wall, John. The future of business is blockchain. And this all comes back to these microcurrencies. That's why there's an avalanche of cash pouring into the microcurrency market. And it's also why I believe it's destined to be bigger than Bitcoin a few years from now. Look, John, it's already starting. In fact, go back to January 2021. At that time, Bitcoin by itself made up over 70% of the total crypto market, dominant in every way. But a massive shift is happening right before our eyes. So now, Bitcoin's dominance has fallen below 50% of the total crypto market.
Meaning the microcurrency market is growing like crazy and could even surpass the bigger coins like Bitcoin fast. I mean, yes, look, Bitcoin's market cap recently eclipsed $1 trillion. That's quite a feat. But you're saying, if I got this right, a few years from now, microcurrencies could be a $10 trillion market.
Yes, and it's all because of these smart contracts used by industries. They've become so important, there's no stopping them. That's why right now, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get in.
And Tom, just to give folks an idea of where it stands right now, you compared the microcurrency market to the adoption of the fastest growing industry of our lifetime. I'm talking about the internet. Now, as you can see from this chart right here, the adoption of microcurrencies and the adoption of the internet are remarkably similar. Really, they are. They both started close to zero and rose swiftly in record time. So where exactly are we now?
We're still very early in the game. Today, microcurrencies are where the internet was in 1994, several years before mass adoption, just starting to take off. And with the banks and corporations jumping on board, microcurrencies could grow exponentially, going from about 100 million users today to about 1 billion plus users in just a few years.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And Tom, this is very exciting because many folks, quite honestly, are kicking themselves. I mean, they are literally losing sleep at night, thinking that by missing out on Bitcoin's huge run-up, they missed out on all the big money in the cryptocurrency market. But what I hear you're saying is take a deep breath, just relax, open your eyes to this microcurrency market instead, because this is a whole new opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a boom that could actually be 100 times bigger than Bitcoin over the next decade.
Yeah, it's even better than that, John, because there won't be just one winner in the upcoming microcurrency boom. There could be dozens of Bitcoin-like winners.
Bitcoin has shot up 7.3 million% since 2010, and obviously not every coin is going to go up 7.3 million%. Plus, this is still a young new market, so certain currencies can slide down just as quickly as others shot up. But you just told us every industry, agriculture, marketing, banking, finance, gaming, insurance, could ultimately have its own Bitcoin, a go-to coin that leads each niche. But Tom, come on, let's set the record straight here, okay? Not every microcurrency is worth investing in. I mean, folks can't just put a blindfold on, throw a dart, and hit a bullseye every time, right?
Of course not. It never works that way in any market. But that's why I felt it was so important to be here with you today, John, because I want to guide people to the very best ones.
Okay, well, in a moment, you're going to do just that and share two brand new microcurrency investment opportunities. Both are tied to industries with real-world value, and both are set to skyrocket. Our viewers can set them up right after this event. And you also want to make a very special announcement, something everyone is going to want to hear. But before we go there, let's show our viewers your method for finding microcurrencies about to take off, because this is mind-blowing stuff. In fact, over the last 36 months, you've been sharing your microcurrency recommendations with a small group of readers, and the numbers have been absolutely astounding. Folks, listen to this. Trading these microcurrencies, Tom has an 82% win record, consistently beating Bitcoin by a hefty margin. It's impressive, Tom.
Yeah, I like to call these my profit multiplier trades because they multiply Bitcoin's gains over the same time frame. Heck, they multiply gains over stocks, commodities, gold, everything.
Well, folks, I want you to pay close attention here. This is really important because what you're about to see is Tom's secret to amassing millions of dollars trading cryptocurrencies, a method so powerful it can predict the top microcurrency winners industry by industry with stunning accuracy. And there are 63 industries using microcurrencies, so you definitely don't want to miss this. All right, Tom, it's all yours. Fire away.
All right, well, as you mentioned, I am a market pattern specialist, but I don't just look at ordinary charts to find patterns. Anybody can do that. What I've done is invested millions of dollars of my own money creating technology that finds these patterns for me. This technology operates a proprietary sequence matching protocol. In simple language, that means it can spot hidden trading patterns that are invisible not only to the human eye, but to every other computerized trading platform on the planet.
Okay, so your technology spots these patterns that nobody else can see. Then what?
Well, then I go to work. I fully vet the spotted microcurrency, making 100% certain it's a legitimate investment opportunity. I'll never recommend a microcurrency unless it's tied to a big industry with real-world use, experiencing mass adoption, and it has to be backed by substantial flows of money with sky-high demand.
And over the past 3 years, you've been giving your recommendations to a small group of followers. In fact, with these folks, you've got an 82% win rate in your model portfolio. So I'd say your method is working brilliantly. What makes it so accurate? I'm curious.
Well, John, to be honest, the AI component of my system discovered something I didn't even expect. The crypto market is not just about patterns, it's about waves, or what we like to call fractal waves. Now, most people have never heard of fractals, but they are a unique mathematical pattern. You can find them anywhere in nature, a snowflake, a head of broccoli, even a gecko's foot. So it's pretty cool when you think about it. Engineers and scientists have been using fractals to design modern buildings, life-saving medical treatments, and nanoelectronics. Heck, engineers use fractals to build the Golden Gate Bridge.
And these fractal waves can be applied to financial markets too, I assume.
Correct. Crazy up and down price swings create these fractals. And they're so tiny, they often go undetected in everyday market analysis. But my technology finds them in droves. Let me show you. Essentially, my system is looking for two special kinds of waves. The first one is called the long-term currency wave. This wave smooths out the price action over a long time frame, typically a month. The second wave is the short-term currency wave. It smooths out price action over a shorter time frame, typically a few days. Now, let me show you where the magic really happens. Right here, when the lines meet and cross, that's when my system sends me the buy signal. And that's how we've nailed winner after winner after winner.
That is fascinating. So, in a nutshell, your system is looking for the exact moment where the long and short-term currency waves cross. And when that happens, it's a good chance this microcurrency is about to skyrocket.
Correct, John. Let me show you how we got to an 82% win record so far. Look at this chart on XTZ. As you can see, the lines crossed here, and it was the time to strike. XTZ took off, and in just 3 weeks, outperformed Bitcoin by 4 times over the same time period. Here's another one. On January 4th, the fractal wave pattern appeared on NMR. In a little over 5 months, NMR soared, outperforming Bitcoin's return by 5 times. Here's BCH. Back on March 29th, the long-term and short-term currency waves appeared. Then they crossed right here. We waited just 36 days and it smashed Bitcoin's return for a profit 12 times higher. Again, look how huge the money difference is. For every $1,000 made on Bitcoin, BCH would have returned over $12,000 instead.
You know what impresses me the most is how consistently this pattern helps you predict winners. It's amazing.
And it's all about consistency. When the two lines cross, there's a high probability the coin's price will soar.
That is fascinating. And you know, folks, this exact pattern has been spotted in 2 new microcurrencies. The long-term and the short-term waves have crossed, indicating these 2 coins are about to skyrocket. Now, Tom believes both give you a shot at 10x returns within weeks. We'll show you how to get into these trades today. And Tom, that's very exciting stuff, but I know you also have a big announcement to make.
I do. I've watched this market grow from 0 to nearly $2 trillion in the blink of an eye. And the wealth so many millionaires minted overnight. I myself, I made millions from crypto. But here's the thing. Millions of Americans still don't understand how this market works, why it's so groundbreaking, or how to invest in it. Today, I want to change that. Over the next decade, digital assets will create more wealth than any investment on the planet. Digital is the future. And I want to show folks how to play this market now before the inevitable happens and it climbs to 3 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion, all the way to $20 trillion over the next 10 years. That's why today I'm officially launching the Alternative Wealth Network. It'll be the first of its kind, a network devoted to investing in those digital assets that can create infinite opportunities and infinite returns for you and your family. Cryptocurrency will be a big part of it, but not the only part. Listen, everything is going digital. Money, technology, the entire global economic infrastructure will be built on digital platforms and the blockchain. The Alternative Wealth Network will give folks everything they need to get started, training and educational tools, the best investment ideas and opportunities, and a community of like-minded crypto pioneers continuously sharing experiences and ways to make money. It's going to be big.
Well, you know, Tom, so many people I come across, they want to invest in alternative things other than stocks and bonds, things like cryptocurrencies, but not really sure how to get started. They may know a little about Bitcoin, but that's it. So your timing for launching this is absolutely perfect. I mean, it's still ground floor, but it's growing with lightning speed.
We're living smack in the middle of the digital revolution. Look at currencies. In 2020, China launched their own digital currency to replace the yuan. Now, dozens of countries are trying to do the same thing. In fact, the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, signaled that the U.S. is fast moving on a digital dollar as we speak. So is Europe. I'm talking about payment systems, supply chains, e-commerce platforms. They're all going digital.
Well, don't forget tokenization. I mean, you can now buy fractional shares of real estate, music, art, everything you can think of can be divided into 1 million pieces and sold to investors.
You're exactly right, John. The token economy is about to go into hyperdrive. Imagine owning fractional shares of the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, Madison Square Garden. Every time New York real estate appreciates, even tiny fractional shares will go through the roof. We're going to show everyday folks the biggest digital money-making opportunities around the globe so regular people can amass the kind of wealth normally reserved for a select few. I'm talking about the chance to pocket way more wealth than traditional assets, like stocks, bonds, even gold, over the next decade.
Tell us how the Alternative Wealth Network works.
Well, first, I'm bringing together some of the industry's leading experts. For example, Michael Robinson. He's a legendary Silicon Valley tech investor who was there in Bitcoin's earliest days with people like Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, when Coinbase was just getting started. Now it's worth nearly $50 billion. Michael saw the writing on the wall and told his followers to get into Bitcoin way back in 2013 for only $90. Today, it's worth more than 54,000% since Michael's recommendation. Next, we're bringing on one of the world's leading international crypto experts. Her name is Helena Margarito. She's based in Brazil. Helena is a well-known finance lawyer who first invested in crypto in 2011 and quickly became a crypto millionaire. She's been a fierce leader against government regulation. She regularly consults with top government leaders over this issue. Look, some of the biggest crypto markets are outside of the U.S. Heck, El Salvador just announced Bitcoin will be their de facto currency. And Helena can help find these massive global opportunities for the network. We also have David Zeiler, one of the world's leading crypto analysts. He's another guy who made millions in crypto mining Bitcoin before I did back in 2013. Today, David's crypto Twitter feed is the place to be. He's got thousands of followers, including some of the biggest names in crypto, like billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper, Naomi Brockwell, the award-winning co-host of the largest crypto conference series around the world. They all follow David for one reason. David knows where the best new opportunities are going to be and how he can bring it to the network in spades.
And I saw that you're also bringing aboard Nick Black, who I've watched on Crypto and Coffee, the popular online show. The way that he breaks down complicated coins like Ethereum, it's very impressive.
Nick's the founder and CEO of Blockchain Capital Management, a hedge fund for digital assets. And you're right, John, when it comes to understanding the mechanisms of microcurrencies, how they work, and how the markets operate, nobody understands better than Nick. And listen, his hedge fund has created advanced investment pricing models. In fact, he's promised to share these models with folks in the network, which I'm very excited about. That's just a few of the folks lined up. We're going to be the go-to source for the world of digital asset investing.
Now, Tom, to celebrate this network launch, you and your team have created an amazing investment research package that you'd like to send to every person watching this broadcast. You know, it gives folks details on the 25 crypto opportunities with the most lucrative potential right now. Everything they need to know to get off the ground and get going.
Listen, so many people feel left out. They see the stories on TV, these people all making crazy money from Bitcoin, and it's not hype. American investors made $4 billion in profits from crypto last year, and scores of millionaires were created. People want to be in this market. So today, my team and I want to give everyone a chance to become their own success story.
Well, there it is on the screen now. It's called the Digital Gold Rush, the crypto investor's roadmap to unimaginable wealth. This package includes details and research on 25 major crypto plays. These are plays anyone can make regardless of experience. And Tom, you believe each one of them has massive upside potential. They hit all the biggest moves that you can make right now in this market. Why don't you walk us through them?
Well, first, we strongly suggest everyone trade microcurrencies. They're the most lucrative money-making opportunities in crypto right now. So, this is where you want to start. Remember, these tiny coins give you the biggest bang for your buck. They're easy to trade, they're inexpensive, and the returns could be unbelievable. You saw how big the gains we showed you were today. You could beat Bitcoin by 100 times, 211 times, even more than 5,000 times.
And your system just found 2 new microcurrencies that could be even bigger. You mentioned massive potential here.
That's right. Do you remember when we discussed microcurrencies being used in 63 different industries?
Sure.
Well, the problem is you got all these crypto networks with totally different blockchains, and none of them are communicating with each other. Well, this first microcurrency play fixes that problem. And they just announced a huge breakthrough. It's a global communication hub, the first in the world, capable of connecting thousands of microcurrency networks all at once. This is going to completely upgrade the microcurrency universe, and it's only trading for around $10 right now.
And your team believes it could beat Bitcoin by 50 times or more in the next 6 months.
Once all the networks join the hub, the price could soar over the next 6 months from $10 all the way to $500 a coin. And frankly, I think that's conservative.
Okay, so let's say 50 times on the low side and unlimited potential on the high side for the first microcurrency recommendation. How about the second one?
Well, John, the second microcurrency could be even bigger because it's transforming the $3.8 billion e-commerce industry. I call it the PayPal of Asia. Now, in Asia, they don't rely on credit cards like we do here in the US, so paying for things online is actually a lot harder. This next microcurrency is the answer. It was developed by high-level experts at the World Bank and International Finance Corporation. So they understand money, and they've created a microcurrency that lets folks buy things directly from their smartphones without a credit card. Now, it's already popular in Asia. In fact, since January 2020, their market cap has grown by over 1,500%. Now they're targeting the U.S.
Once this coin gets a foothold in the U.S., I'm going to say it's going to explode. I mean, how much is it trading for now?
That's the best part. It's under $5. So you can literally buy thousands of units of this microcurrency for about the same price as 1 Bitcoin. And we predict it can beat Bitcoin by as much as 100 times this year.
Well, even if it did half of that, it would be an unbelievable return. So both of these microcurrency recommendations will be included in a special report, and it includes Tom's step-by-step instructions for setting up these trades as early as today. All right, Tom, tell us about the next opportunity that folks should take advantage of.
All right, well, I already told you that Bitcoin is the best buy and hold investment of the decade. But there are actually 4 more coins that fall into the same category. The first one is a leading smart contract crypto. I expect to soar 5,044% within 5 years. The next one is a cash substitute with super cheap transaction fees. My prediction, 5,311% gain within 5 years. The next is what people refer to as the silver crypto to Bitcoin's gold. It could go up over 15,000% in the next 5 years. And finally, we've got a breakthrough crypto that connects the world of blockchain to the world of business. It's incredibly cheap now, but not for long. My prediction, 84,000%, all within 5 years.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Tom, but you don't need a big starting stake with any of these, do you?
Absolutely not. In fact, I'm going to show everyone how to create generational wealth starting with just $25 in each of these coins.
Well, that means, all in all, with 5 generational plays, including Bitcoin, you would only need a total starting stake of about $125, with a chance to pocket a 50 times windfall on each. That's awfully powerful, Tom. And the details of these big opportunities are also included in the Digital Gold Rush package. Now, Tom, the next opportunity, I'm going to be honest, it really surprised me when you told me about it. I had no idea this was possible. So tell us about crypto dividends.
Well, it's interesting. For all the attention crypto's gotten, all the media hype, most people have no idea about some of the great built-in features of these coins. Like the fact that you can actually earn income just by owning select cryptos. With dividends as high as 25%, I'm talking about folks collecting nearly 5,000% more interest from specific microcurrencies than you can get from a typical 0.5% yield you'd get from a bank. So this next opportunity is about collecting cash.
All right, well, I know yields on treasuries are basically nothing, savings accounts are below zero, and stock dividends are at all-time lows. So A 25% dividend sounds pretty fantastic.
Look, if you're going to hold some of these microcurrencies, you might as well collect cash payments. Sure, there's more risk than just holding a savings account, but the rewards can be far greater. You could be making 200%, 300%, even 500% return on your crypto investment, and while you're at it, making another 10, 15, 20% on the dividends. And we're going to show the folks the 3 best crypto dividends you should get into right now. One just partnered with Deloitte and Lloyd's of London. They're paying up to 12%. Another stores your earnings in a blockchain wallet built by Samsung and also offers double-digit returns. And another, get this, they're offering $50 worth of free Bitcoin when you get started with their crypto dividend.
Once again, it's included in the Digital Gold Rush research package. Now, Tom, your next opportunity is a way to make money on crypto without actually buying any. You got to tell us about this one.
Well, I'm sure you're familiar with the historic crypto event that happened last April.
Coinbase going public on the NASDAQ.
Exactly. That was the first crypto IPO in history, and the shares exploded, up 52% out of the gate, a 10 times windfall in a matter of hours. For this 4th big opportunity, we've compiled details on 10 more private crypto companies we expect to IPO in the next 12 months. One company I love has the world's leading trading platforms. They've already got 9+ million users and a valuation of $40 billion. Another one I like, it's one of Coinbase's biggest competitors. In fact, it's even more popular than Coinbase overseas, with a valuation of $20 billion. And another one has just partnered with Coinbase to make payment platforms like PayPal centered around its cryptocurrency. It's valued at $3 billion. So, we're going to show folks how to capitalize on every single one of them.
Well, clearly, Coinbase opened up the floodgates, and now you've got dozens of crypto companies shooting to go public. And once again, it's included in the Digital Gold Rush package being made available for free to everyone watching today. Okay, Tom, that leaves one more opportunity that you want everybody to get into.
Yeah, and it's a big one. Listen, John, you know as well as I do, historically speaking, the world's greatest profits have come from hard assets. And I'm talking about gold mines, precious metals, oil wells, land deals, real estate, even works of art. These are rare assets that appreciate enormously over time. But most folks never get access to these kinds of investments, only the wealthiest few. Well, that's now changing, thanks to NFTs. They're a unique way for anyone to tap into these big moneymakers for only a tiny fraction of the price.
Okay, Tom, before you really get into this, I want you to explain NFTs because they've been all over the news, but they're so unique and folks may not be familiar with how they work.
Sure. First, NFT stands for non-fungible token. It's a digital token that can never be duplicated, and they're amazing. You can buy and sell NFT sports memorabilia, video cards, limited edition music, books, comics, you name it. And here's the thing, you can buy NFTs for as little as $50, then sell them for hundreds, thousands, even millions of dollars. And it's a lot of fun too. Check this out, John. These are called CryptoPunks. They're immensely popular online. This one here, it sold for $1.25 million.
You know, and I also saw that the CEO of Twitter sold his first tweet as an NFT for $2.9 million.
Yeah, $2.9 million is a lot for a tweet, but how about this digital painting? This was turned into an NFT and sold for $69 million.
Amazing. It's such a red-hot market right now. NFT sales have surged from $94 million to $2 billion just in the first quarter this year.
Yeah, and this is where it gets interesting. We are starting to see NFTs for hard assets too. And folks watching today could get in on this action. If they play it right, they could turn a tiny investment, say $25, into a small fortune.
They make it possible. That is a huge statement. All right, Tom, you're covering everything from digital collectibles to hard assets. So what's the recommendation here?
Well, first, we're going to recommend 3 online NFT galleries. These sites let you build your own collection of NFTs, art, collectibles, digital assets of any kind. Then, we're going to show folks the 2 best ways you could buy fractional tokens for things like real estate, wineries, commodities, and other major hard assets. I truly believe tokenization is the future of our economy. Everything will be sold in tokens, and folks who get into this now will be way ahead of the game.
and it's also included in the Digital Gold Rush package. Folks, all 25 opportunities we just discussed are on the screen right now. And everyone watching today, please listen closely. Tom wants you to have this whole package today so you can start investing in this digital asset market as soon as possible. He's going to show you how to get your package in just a moment. But here's an important question, Tom, that I have for you. You know, we have so many people watching today, folks who really want to get involved, who want to finally take the leap and make these plays that you're recommending, but they still may seem hesitant because they're not really sure how to get started. Maybe they've never invested in microcurrencies before. Maybe they don't know how to open an account on an exchange. It really can be a scary thing just starting. So what do you tell them?
Well, I told them first, I totally understand. I was in their shoes once myself. In 2013, everybody thought I was totally nuts for mining Bitcoin in my garage. Back then, there was no such thing as a Bitcoin expert. I had to learn everything on my own. But listen, folks watching now, they don't have to do this alone. They can have the experience and expertise of the entire network to lean on. In fact, my team and I took the extra time to create the perfect thing everyone needs to get started. It's called the 5-step blueprint for microcurrency trading success. It's a full training manual and video series, and it shows folks exactly how to get started in 5 easy steps so they can jump into this game right away.
And folks, this 5-step blueprint for microcurrency trading success will be included in your Digital Gold Rush package. So, Tom, what do you say? Let's briefly walk them through these 5 steps.
Step 1 is Microcurrency 101. This gives everyone the basics. Step 2, opening your account. Here we walk you through setting up an account on a crypto exchange. Step 3, funding your account. This is where we show you how to fund your account, and it only takes a couple clicks of your mouse. Step 4, making your first trade. This is where the action is. We show you how to pull the trigger and exchange your US dollars into a microcurrency to get that trade off and running. Step 5, cashing out of your trade. This is the best part. A chance to bank your profits. We'll show you how to execute the right moves and then convert your winnings back into US dollars.
Well, Tom, the entire Digital Gold Rush package was created so anyone can start making money not just with microcurrencies, but with the entire digital market immediately. And now, we'd like to rush this package into the hands of our viewers. So folks, this entire package is free to anyone watching today. All you have to do is accept Tom's special invitation to join the Alternative Wealth Network as a founding member.
My team and I will take folks under our wing and show them exactly how to build the greatest digital asset portfolio imaginable. First, we're going to send folks a new microcurrency recommendation every month. It'll be delivered directly to your inbox in a special microcurrency investment dossier, complete with all my research and analysis, plus step-by-step instructions for playing it. Every opportunity will have the potential to beat Bitcoin by 100 times. 211 times, even more than 5,000 times within weeks or months. These monthly microcurrency investment dossiers are only shared with members of the network. Nobody else will have access. That's just for starters, because every day of the week, we're going to be working together going after big profits. First, every morning, you're going to receive our highly informative daily debrief directly to your inbox. This daily debrief will be loaded with information from me and everyone on our team. It'll keep you up to date with everything you need to be current in these fast-moving markets. We'll be looking at microcurrencies making the biggest moves, new coin releases, where the big money flows are happening, everything. On Friday, you'll get my microcurrency industry watch list. It shows you the top-performing coins from every industry each week. So you can see for yourself which microcurrencies are gaining momentum. We've also created a members-only intelligence hub, a way for you to continually collaborate with your fellow network members 24/7. You just log on to the intelligence hub and chat anytime with other members. It's going to be a strong community of like-minded people helping each other succeed. This password-protected web portal gives full access to the model portfolio, all of our research, investment reports, training videos, customer care, everything.
Clearly, Tom, this network is comprehensive. It gives folks everything they need to profit from digital assets like cryptocurrencies. Now, you just covered a lot there, so let me do a quick recap if you don't mind, because when they subscribe, founding members will get this: the full Digital Gold Rush investment package, including details on all 25 opportunities Tom recommends right now, the 5-step blueprint for microcurrency trading success video series, plus all these great benefits for 12 full months: monthly microcurrency investment dossiers, daily debriefs, microcurrency industry watch lists, 24/7 access to the Intelligence Hub.
And don't forget, my team and I issue special investment reports, research materials, and training videos continuously throughout the year. Members will have access to everything all year long.
Now, Tom, you and your team spent millions setting up this network, which is why it's not inexpensive to join. Down the road, regular memberships will be offered for $599 a year, a fair price for everything you're getting. However, as a founding member, you won't have to pay anywhere near that today. Forget 50% off or 60% off or 70% off, even 80% off. As a founding member, you're entitled to an unbelievable discount. To get this one-time only founding members discount rate, just click the button right below here. You'll be taken to an order form which will walk you through everything that you get as a founding member, including your founding members discount.
We stand behind this network 100%. That's why when folks come aboard, they'll discover that their membership comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Take a full 60 days and give it a try. If after 60 days, you're not 100% satisfied with the results, if you feel like the network hasn't delivered what you expected, if it's not showing you an opportunity to make major profits in microcurrencies like I said it would, just give us a call and we'll issue you a full refund, no questions asked. Even if you decide to cancel, you can still keep everything we sent you. It's our way of thanking you for giving the network a try. Look, this is a chance to be part of the greatest wealth event of our lifetime. Digital assets are the future. It's that simple. And I don't want anyone to miss out. Becoming a founding member today allows us to work side by side every day of the week to conquer this market together. And I can't wait for us to get started.
Well, there you have it, folks. To get started with Tom and his team, all you have to do is click the button below and complete the brief order form on the next page. As a founding member of the Alternative Wealth Network, you'll receive everything you see on the screen now. Plus, you'll receive the founding members discount with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Your full membership benefits will be available to you immediately. Tom, thank you very much for joining us today. I've learned a lot and I certainly have appreciated it.
Well, John, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to working with everybody.